What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, you guys? So we are back again for another episode review of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And truth be told, baby, I see exactly why we need three parts because we barely got into anything this first part, okay? Because half of the freaking reunion got into this hour was about Melody and Martell. I said, what is this? And I guess what I feel like they're doing is they're making up for the fact that they didn't have a reunion. I don't think they had a reunion season 2. I don't believe so because of the pandemic, right? That's what I think. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what it feel like they're doing and why it's three parts. Because a lot of stuff that they were talking about, it was like, didn't we already talk about this before? So I'm going to just go through my notes of what I put down here because y'all know Carlos Queens. Let me get that correct. My throat. All right. I'm sorry. I'm back. Carlos King was the host, okay? So, of course, you do like they do on a lot of these reunion shows these days. That they come in and they seeing the cast getting ready in their dressing rooms, and he's going to each dressing room and he's surprising them and trying to get the tea a little bit and letting them know because everybody is asking and wondering who is going to be the host. Now, when he says that he is the host, Marceau and Martell kind of got a little about it because of the simple fact that he was like, and exactly what Martell and Marceau said, damn, because you already know everything about us, so of course you gonna be digging. So yes, he about to get the truth out of y'all, okay? So we get to the show. We started talking about how everybody's been. Tisha was asked, do she be on social media? She said she probably one of the most hated because at one point, Martell said he one of the most hated. He's the number one hated on the show or whatever. Tisha was like, no, you're second because me and Marceau is number one. All right. Now, at this point, I would say that they neck and neck. At a particular point, they was neck and neck for me, okay? But I will say that, it's definitely Martell is number one. Not Tisha and Marceau. They number two for me. But Martell is definitely number one for the most dislike. I'm not going to say hated because I don't hate these people. But yeah. So she said the way that she deal with the show now, like she is off of social media. She do not get on Twitter. I said, baby girl, that's the best thing that you could do because they be flaming your ass on there. Truth be told, they be flaming the whole goddamn cast, okay? The whole cast. If I ever get on a reality show, which I will never, okay? If I was to ever put myself in that position, I would not get on social media, okay? I would not look at Twitter during the time that it was supposed to be done, okay? It's supposed to be airing. I would have all of those words muted, okay? Unless it's in my contract to post something on Instagram, to post a tweet about watch this and watch that, that's it. Other than that, I'm not searching nothing. Don't send me nothing. I'm blocking the word, okay? That's what it is. But moving on from that, they get right into the how they got here and just to look at the past from each couple or whatever to how they got from how they started to how they got to where they're at now. And everybody was cool and liking the progress that they're having. And then, they asked Mel and Martell, do they have any regrets about doing the show? Okay. Mel said she has no regrets. Okay. When they showed her package between her and Martell, she said the best thing that happened out of that whole package, seeing the whole scenes or whatever, was the fact that their daughter Melania was born. Okay. And other than that, everything else was BS, but she wouldn't change it, okay? Meaning that she doesn't regret it. Martell, on the other hand, of course he regrets it. He regrets it because all of his dirty laundry is put on Front Street, okay? His cheating, his everything. And he said, had he not been on the show, all of this stuff would have been dealt with privately, and that 9 out of 10 in his mind, he feels as though it's almost, no, this is literally what he was saying without saying it. He feels as though Melody would have stayed with him. Melody had to say, no, I wouldn't have. Okay? Even if we had these issues, what they did, because they was having them before the show even started. Okay? And see, this is why people go up for, let me explain something. This man, if you listen to this whole reunion and especially the end part, and Melody and Martell got into the way their relationship started to truly crumble when she started finding out some things about him, because she already said, if you go back and you look at some of the interviews that she put out on YouTube or whatever, she's already made it known that there was cheating throughout the whole relationship. Years, even before they got married, he cheated. Okay, according to her, And so my thing of it is, that's fine. You worked that issue out before you got married or whatever. But if you listen to the things that she was saying, he was saying that relationship was flawed and messed up before they even started the freaking show. And that is why I don't understand why people go so hard for these reality people. These on these reality shows, and oh, I'm team this, and you can't talk bad about this person, and you can't, because you have no idea the stuff that goes on or that went on within their relationship, their person, their space, their life before they got on this show and as they on the show that they're on, okay? They're not perfect, and most of them are nothing to look up to, okay? So that's why I just watch the shit for entertainment, because I know it's some deep, dark secrets, and some of the shit don't even be deep, dark. The shit be right there on the surface, okay? And this is one of them. This is a prime example. They already had, They already, every time, damn. They already had issues, okay? They already had issues. And he basically didn't want his shit to be put on Front Street. That's all that it was. He thought that they was going to be able to work it out privately, and then Mel was still going to be there, okay? Mel said absolutely not. Okay, I feel as though, Martell felt as though, well, Mel was kind of weak enough to just stay. Well, she accepted it in the past. She'll continue to accept it now. All right. And I feel as though he feels that by her getting on this reality show, being on TV, having the support from viewers, because like she said, it's been more positive than negative or whatever for her. He didn't expect that. He probably feel as though the outside forces, us, the public, then pumped her head up a little bit, gave her the little encouragement to get up and fucking leave his ass, okay? That's what I feel. And he probably pissed off at the fact that, oh, we done did that, and now she gone. Now, had we done this privately and not been on TV, she would still be there. Mel said no, absolutely not, okay? Moving on from that, he do agree that he stays off the social media, and he would like her to stay off of social media, because she also would be used to, at the time, I guess, when they was together, talking about, oh, they tweeted this and they said this. I mean, we fall into that trap sometimes, okay? But, as you get further along into whatever show it is that you're doing, not to stay off of it, okay? And not to pay all that shit any mind, because it would drive you crazy. Moving on from that, we found out that Marceau sent the email to the heads or whatever about the name of the show. He was not here for it because it went from, it was supposed to be about construction, and then they changed it to Love and Marriage Huntsville, so that means that it changed the whole direction of the show. So now, that was a interesting fact that I didn't know, but I'm not surprised. Carlos was asking, Maurice, how did he feel about some of the people, and saying that the show used to be positive, but now it's all about fighting and stuff like that. Or I shouldn't say fighting, but arguing and stuff like that. And he was like, it's crazy how, and disheartening how people say that it went from positive to negative, because it's like, what show are you really watching? Because we have a lot of positive stuff that's in there. And here's my thing, Maurice. This happens with every reality show. They may start off a certain way, 100% positive, showing the, success of black folks or whatever it is that the show is about. You know what I'm saying? Showing a whole bunch of positivity, us coming together, whatever. But the reality is, y'all add to it because y'all turn it into negative stuff. Y'all are the one that's providing that negativity that happens in the show. Okay, it's not us. Y'all providing that stuff. Y'all putting y'all stuff out there. Y'all choosing to argue on TV. Y'all choosing to, continue with the same conversation and the same argument over and over and over again. Okay? I will say that Love and Marriage Huntsville is one of the better reality shows when it comes to showing positivity, because yes, they do have their moments where it's a lot of negativity, and only because of certain couples that keep on talking about the same thing, the Martell and Melody shit. That can turn people away, but it also can bring people in because people also do like drama. As much as they want to say, oh, I'm so tired of looking at these reality shows and all they doing is fighting and all this stuff, that's the reason why the majority of people turn in, okay? Because when we do have a 100% purely positive, wholesome reality show, people barely tune in, and therefore it get canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. We've seen that before, okay? But this is y'all reality, and with the reality of it is y'all have positive moments and y'all have negative moments, okay? Do I think that it's a lot of negative things on this show? Not necessarily. The only thing that's getting me irritated is the fact that Mel and Martell keep going at it. Okay, some of the stuff is needed to keep the show going, but I wouldn't mind to see people getting along all the time. I will sit here and watch the shit, okay, because I love those type of moments in shows, you know. But I get where he's coming from, but he has to understand that that happens with each and every reality show. We get into this whole thing about Maurice not defending Kimmy when it's talking about her being a side chick, and he was like, "If somebody say that I'm an alien, do you think I have to say something about that? Because there is no possible way that I can actually be an alien, so therefore I don't." I said, Maurice, bitch, cut the shit. I mean, sir, cut the stuff, okay? Cut it. Cut it. Because at the end of the day, I would have shut this whole shit down, and this probably would have been shut down had you opened up your mouth and said, no, she was never a side chick. And you would have said it in a way that people would have said, oh, okay, I believe that shit. We gonna cut that right then and there. I can't remember if he's ever said that, but your wife for 2 seasons have been going on and on and on trying to defend herself about being a side chick, and we ain't never really heard you say nothing about it. Okay? You got her dangling out here in the water full of sharks, and you just sitting there watching her like she bait, okay? Like, oh, she got it. All right. I said, Maurice, come on now. Come on now. And Kimmy whole thing is, he was like, it's impossible for her to ever have been a side chick because I've moved out and I got the U-Haul receipts showing the date that I moved to this place and all this stuff. That's all we wanted to hear from you. That's all Kimmy wanted to hear from you. And that's what you all could have said, already could have said. They bring up the fact that Martell was the one that said that Marceau told him in a laughing way. Marceau said, I ain't say that. He said, yes, you did. And then even Kimmy said, well, Martell, you and freaking Mel was up in that doctor's office and they played the clip. And y'all was up there talking about it and implying that I was a side chick and all of that stuff, which they were, okay? Because that was back when everybody was going through their stuff and everybody was like splintering off and being pissed off at each other, whatever, okay? You know, Marceau said, now, you know, if Martell is saying that it happened, you know it's a lie. It is so messed up that even your friends know that you a liar, Martell. They know when you're lying, okay? And we all don't even freaking know you intimately or personally, and we know when your ass is lying. You are a liar, okay? But it was brought up in a joking manner, all right? I do feel as though they have discussed it probably in a joking manner, and some of them probably been real about it and thinking that it happened. I don't know how I feel about Tisha saying that, yeah, you know, when Kaiwa came to my house, she basically said that, you know, she kind of made it seem as though Kimmy was a side chick, and I'm like, that's not her character, so I don't know the timeline, so as to whether or not it could have happened, but I still don't believe it. If you don't believe it and you know that that's not her character, why you care about a timeline? To me, I feel like Tisha low-key believes it, okay? High-key believes it. But at the same time, Kimmy said that there was a document that, you know, Maurice and Kaiwa had signed after they separated. You know what I'm saying? And I guess this was one of those situations where we'll see after this amount of time if we will get back together. But, you know, she felt as though Kimmy coming into the picture messed that up for them to rekindle their relationship. And Maurice said there was never going to be any rekindling of the relationship. She did something that was unforgivable in the marriage. They got into it. He left a couple of days later, never looked back, never had any type of intimate moments with her afterwards. He filed for divorce twice, sent it out once, she didn't receive it or she refused to receive it, and then the second time the sheriff had to come over there and give it to her. So basically that's what it is. Kimmy just don't want nobody playing with her character. I understand, but I'm glad that we cleared that shit up. It is what it is, you know. And Maurice said after that whole time when he left and he filed and all of that stuff, he didn't even meet Kimmy until a year after all of that. So to call her a side chick, that's messed up when he's been with other women in between that, before Kimmy and after Kyle. So I said, and I've always thought about that. That's why I'm like, she can't be the side chick, because I'm pretty sure he was out here fucking a whole bunch of people. And even Kimmy had said that, you know, and even Maurice had said that it was one night where he had one day where he did like 5 people at one time or throughout the day, you know, 5 different women. So yeah, Kimmy ain't a side chick according to them. Moving on from that, she did say that she talked to Kyle because their relationship is getting a little bit better. They're communicating better. She did let her know that this situation will come up and what she's going to say, so that she won't be surprised about it, won't be upset about it, so that they can continue to move forward and not backwards. And I said, that's a good thing, because it was inevitable that it was going to come up, because once again, it came up on the show. Moving on from that, we get the whole thing with Melody and freaking Martell and their breakup. Like I said, you know, she just said it was a bunch of BS that was going on. Looking at the playback of the clips, the best part, like I said earlier, was her giving birth to her daughter, but also it was BS seeing Martell, you know, contradict a lot of things that he was saying and to lie and make up things. Martell basically said that he is not a cheater at heart. He is not a cheater, okay? And he knows that the next woman that he ever gets with, he would never cheat on her. Never say never, especially once you've done it and you continue to have done it the same. Baby, no, Martell gonna do it again, okay? There are some people that I believe will never do something again because they truly, truly, truly see the errors in their ways and, you know, understand the consequences of what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Because of the actions that they took that were wrong. So therefore, they don't want to relive that. They don't want to inflict that pain on anybody else, and they don't want to lose what they have again. Martell has not shown remorse. And if he has, show me where it has. The man is petty. The man is a tit for tat type of person. Oh, you cheat, I cheated, so you cheated, I cheated. All this type of stuff. He has not shown remorse. And therefore, I feel as though he will do it again. He will do it again. You might not say that you a cheater at heart, but you got them cheating ass tendencies, okay? But, and if that's what it is, that's what it is. Stay single. Okay, so you can go, and that's my thing. Don't get in a relationship knowing, and I know people don't get in a relationship knowing that they're going to cheat, but if you do feel like that's what you may do, and then you get caught, and then the relationship ends, don't get into another relationship. Just go around and just do what you got to do. Make sure you safe with it, and be upfront and consensual with it. Consent, you know what I'm saying? Until you get that out your system and you're ready to fully commit again. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't put nobody else through that shit. They was talking about how the last reunion, Martell and Melody, they came together like a united front, you know, especially after when all the cheating allegations came through. And, you know, what changed from that reunion to now, because the pandemic hit. Baby, this is when shit started hitting the fan for Martell, and then we learned a little bit about Melody. And Melody, you had me going, Now, I got a couple of questions, okay? I said, bitch, now how the fuck you don't? Okay, we'll get there. But basically, Melody said the pandemic hit, and we was all at the house. We was kicking it together. We was all to the good, and everything was great up until I started realizing that Martell was leaving the house for hours at a time, okay? And Carlos was over it. He was like, wait a minute. So we are doing a pandemic, and this is at the beginning of the pandemic where the country is locked down, and you're supposed to be sheltering in place so that you can keep your family safe, but yet you are going out the house hours at a time to cheat? Because Martell said that he was going to the gym, okay? And Carlos said, "When no gyms open?" Because they weren't. And he said, "Well, mine was." I said, "You mean your dick? Your pants?" We know that was open. And I said, "You know what, Martell, if I wanted to feel some type of sympathy or empathy for you, I couldn't, because in that moment, that was the most selfish thing that you could have done, because you literally could have put your families in harm's way. We, especially during the beginning of this pandemic, nobody knew what was going on and how this stuff worked and spread and whatever. It was so much out there. We didn't know how easy you can get it or couldn't. And you literally went out and had sex with another person into another person's household, and you don't know if she was doing this with this person or she was mingling with this person. I'm not even talking about sex. I'm just talking about being in the presence of another person that could have possibly been affected, that could have possibly had something. So you risk your family's life, your kid's life, your newborn's life, who is trying to build up her immune system to go get some puss. Wow. That's low. That's low. Melody said, he gonna say it wasn't anybody else that he was seeing. It was that girl. It was old girl. You know, he basically put his physical needs over his family. That's basically what it is. It was like, so you were sleeping with this woman during the pandemic, because this is around the time that I believe she got pregnant or whatever. And he was like, the math ain't math. And mind you, this is Martell that's saying this. He was like, hold on. Now see, Martell was trying to defend himself and say, wait a minute, the math ain't mathing. Carlos said, well, when is your son's birthday? He was like, well, let me shut up, because I don't want to put that out there. I said, now see, you was finna bust your own case open. Okay? It showed that you are a liar. I said, boy, put your foot in your mouth and just suck on it. Okay? Meanwhile, you know, she said at one point, Melody was like, when she knew it was over or something was going on, she had no idea prior to this. This was like around in 2017, before the show even happened. But after the cheating happened or whatever, when let me get to this part. During the pandemic, when this cheating and stuff was going on during the pandemic or whatever, he was leaving the house and they would have conversations, and she was like, it was that moment when he was leaving the house for hours at a time, and then him actually saying that basically she needs to get used to the fact that he's cheating, okay? And that she needs to listen or talk to the older women in the generation. You know what I'm saying? Older generation of women. And she was like, you need to talk to the men. And what did they say to you? Because he was like, I did. What did they say to you? Oh, you need to find a woman that doesn't have anything. Don't get with a woman that doesn't have anything to lose, and make sure they sign a contract. I said, bitch, this how y'all niggas be talking to each other. I said, ooh, Ariel, baby, they said that you ain't had, ooh, wow, you got shit to lose, girl. I said, that is messed up. Mind you, Melody was a new mother and said that he hasn't changed cheating. He was just trying to do it smarter and still was stupid at doing it, okay? Moving on from that, she said the way that she found out about the whole relationship between him and his, I guess, yeah, his baby mother now, is back in 2017. Mind you, 2017 was prior to this show even being brought to the TV, okay? She said they was in the kitchen and his phone kept on ringing back to back, and it was a blocked number, okay? So she was like, let me go, girl, hello. And so the phone hung up. And then she was like, put it back down, man, her business, and it rang again. And so she answered it, and then the bitch on the other line said, I didn't call your phone, I called Martell, so put him on the phone. I said, bitch, me and Tisha went, I said, these side bitches are getting real bold. And you want to know why she was bold like that? Because Martell probably was over there talking sweet nothings to that bitch and made her, and I don't even want to call her a bitch because, first of all, well, yes, I do, because you knew that he was married. You willingly got into a relationship with a married man, and then you fell in love with this married man, and this married man also is up here probably implying to you, ain't no telling what the bullshit that he was telling her to make her, stay around as long as she was, and, just doing all of this stuff, and felt bold enough to say the stuff that she said to that woman on the phone to his wife. Okay, and she was confused about what was going on, and she left. This is around the time when we keep on hearing about this apartment that she left and she got or whatever. Baby, we get into this whole situation about when Martell got pissed off at Marceau, because Carlos brought up the fact that this is around the time that you kind of accused Marceau of, having something, Mel and Marceau hooking up. And he was like, yeah, and it didn't happen or whatever, but Marceau apologized for it. Marceau said, I'd never apologized for anything. You apologized, okay? And Martell was like, stop playing, okay? Let me finish my story. I said, no, sir. Martell sat up here and acted like a big ass child, okay? A big ass child on the stage throwing a tantrum when everybody says something. Let me finish. I was just like, oh my God, this is a mess, okay? You really are sitting up here single-handedly destroying your own reputation, okay? And Marceau said, listen, what happened was, yes, we talked during this whole thing, okay? When that whole fight happened between, the situation happened between Martell and Mel, Vanessa had called Marceau and told him that, Mel and Martell was going at it or whatever, arguing or whatever. Marceau said he called Martell first, trying to get through to him to get him out of the situation, pull him out, okay? But he couldn't get through to him. I guess he wasn't answering the phone. So Mel had answered her phone, okay, and said she was at a Chick-fil-A, and they would sit there having drinks or whatever at the Chick-fil-A to calm them down or whatever to see what was going on, being a friend. I have seen where people said that Marceau do be flirting or whatever with Mel, but if he does, I don't think that he would ever try anything. I think he will flirt, but I don't think he'll be dumb enough to try anything. And I also feel as though Mel wouldn't be stupid enough and don't even look at Marceau in that way, for one. So, like they were saying, Martell, you think this low of your friends to think that they would actually try to mess around with your wife or the girl that you're with, okay? Because he tried to imply that they had drinks. And in Martell's mind, he thinking drinks means alcohol. And that's what Marceau put out there too, that Martell is a non-drinker, so that's probably what he thought. And Melody had to say, no, I was already at the Chick-fil-A when Marceau called me and I said, well, just meet me or whatever. And we talked and we were supposed to get some drinks, but we never even got the drinks. Okay, so at this point, Martell trying to flip it and be like, well, when you up in a heated state, that's the stuff that you think, you know what I'm saying? I said, boy, just shut up, okay? Just be quiet, all right? You out here doing all of this stuff or whatever, and so you felt this was going on because of the shit that you was doing. And that's exactly what Mel was saying, okay? Meanwhile, what else was going on? They get into the whole issue about did Mel cheat on him and whatever. In 2017 when she left, she got to the apartment. She said, no, I didn't cheat on him. And this is why I looked at Mel a little bit funny, bitch, because technically speaking, we may have to say that, maybe Martell wasn't lying, okay? But listen, y'all tell me how y'all feel about it, okay? Because in my mind, even if you're separated and it's a possibility, listen, if you're separated, that does not mean divorce. You are still legally married. And if you are out here having relationships with other people and then you get back with that person, I feel as though that's cheating a little bit, or, whatever your definition of it is. But it depends on how you look at it, okay? Some people may think that's cheating. Some people may not think it's cheating, especially if y'all don't get back together. If you're adamant that you're not going to get back together, that's fine. But if you have some feelings and you think that you might get back together and you still fuck around, I feel as though that's cheating. Mel thought that, she wasn't coming back. So I don't know if we're giving her an exception or not. But maybe Martell actually was right, because he was like, I got recordings and all this stuff. You trying to say that, the reason why I was doing all the stuff that I was doing was because of the fellatio reason, that she kept on saying that she wouldn't give him head or whatever. But that's what you was out here doing to other guys. I said, here we go again with you trying to say that this woman was cheating and you never have proof. He was like, I recorded it. I said, what the recording say? Even Mel said, pull the recording up, okay? And she was like, I never said that I got that I did anything to anybody else, but I sure enough told you that the one particular guy that I was with 4 weeks after I left in December, that he performed fellatio on me. I will say that. Okay. I said, oh. But then she said, I can't remember whether or not I gave him fellatio. But I know for sure that I received it from him. I said, bitch, you've been married to this man for how long at this time? And this man that gave you fellatio would have been the second person that you've been with. And that's plus Martell in this whole relationship. You mean to tell me you can't remember whether or not your lips touched his penis or not? Melody, girl, you suck that man dick. Cause that's what it's ringing. That's what it's ringing. Okay, do niggas really be out here just giving head to women and not expecting nothing in return? I don't know how the heterosexual is doing it, and I'm dead ass asking. Okay, I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm asking my men, do y'all really do that, or women, have y'all experienced that? I mean, there's some men that's probably respectful and that's all they want to do to get off. But do you buy this story that she didn't know or didn't remember who she did the got 3,000 to? You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I'm pretty sure unless it's a whole bunch of men that you've been with or a whole bunch of people in general, yeah, I can see you not remembering, but that being the only man that you was with after you got through with your husband when you thought that you wasn't coming back, but you still came back because you thought he was going to change. I would have remembered that, okay? And it's like, Mel, are you really hiding something? Maybe he was correct. I mean, technically speaking, y'all was still together. Y'all wasn't divorced. So if that did happen, regardless of if you received it or if you got it, technically you did cheat. You cheated back, okay? Technically speaking, some of y'all may not feel like that was cheating, but technically speaking, that's what it is, because legally they were still married. I don't even know if they filed separation papers, okay? But legally they were still married, so whether you received or gave, that's still cheating because it wasn't your husband. And he did it first and then you did it back. Both y'all was in the wrong, okay? Hey, it is what it is. They was talking about the girl, whether or not was he cheating? Was Martell cheating with this girl because it was just a sex thing, or if it was something that kept him coming back about her? It was her. And he wasn't cheating with multiple people. He just kept on cheating with this girl. So like Carlos said, people want to call her the coleslaw and all these other condiments or whatever. She was the whole restaurant because it was something about her that kept him coming back. Like he said, it was a connection that they gained and they had, and it made him come back more and more and more. It drew him to her. And like Carlos said, you was up here trying to degrade this woman and belittle her, calling her a peasant and all that stuff, knowing in reality you was doing that to cover up the fact that you probably and most likely do love this woman. And I said, after 5 years and you keep going back and back and back, and you nutted in that bitch and didn't tell her to take care of it, yeah, you love that woman. And then the episode end, which I hate the cliffhanger, like we weren't gonna tune in. Had you met this woman first, would you have married her instead of Melody? And that's how it ended. But y'all tell me how y'all felt about this episode. Baby, it is hot up in here. I will see you guys later. Peace.